The XBB 1.16 is the new sort of kid on the block, if I may use that terminology. What it basically means is that as the virus evolves over time, and this happens with both COVID and with influenza, the virus will change a little bit. So the number that we are actually reporting may be less than the actual number in the community. So we will continue to see new variants. The XBB 1.16 is the new sort of kid on the block, if I may use that terminology. What it basically means is that as the virus evolves over time, and this happens with both COVID and with influenza, the virus will change a little bit. What we call an antigenic drift. It will gradually evolve, mutate a little bit, and new variants will emerge. If you remember, when we had the COVID outbreak, we started off with alpha, beta, delta, gamma, omicron variants. All of these are variants as the virus kept on changing. Luckily, if you look at what has happened in the last, I would say, more than 1 year, we've had variants which are basically sub-lineages of omicron only. So to some extent, it seems the virus has stabilized a little bit. It's not changing as rapidly it was in the past, that you had alpha, then suddenly you had a delta variant and you had other variants coming up. Now it's all that it has sort of stabilized to omicron, and these are all sub-lineages that we're seeing. None of them is causing severe illness and death. So as long as new variants keep coming, but they don't cause severe illness in the form of hospitalization and deaths, I think it's all right, because this helps in giving some degree of immunity to the population if they get a mild illness and recover from it. So you may see a surge in the number of cases, and I feel that we will see cases which are always underreported, because two things have happened. Initially, people were very concerned and were all getting tested. Now, even if you have a flu-like symptoms, most people don't get themselves tested. Some use the rapid antigen test and get themselves tested, but if they're positive, they don't report it. So the number that we are actually reporting may be less than the actual number in the community. So the first thing I'd like to say is that people who test positive should report the data, because that helps policymakers and the government to actually know the number of cases and to take a decision. Secondly, like I said, if you're having more and more cases, even if you're having a surge, as long as it's not translating to more hospitalization, more death, it's quite all right. So we may see a surge in number of cases, but as long as we don't see more hospitalization, as long as we don't see more deaths, I think we should be all right.